Britain's biggest teaching union says businesses have too much influence in the classroom. Their power needs to be curbed. The National Union of Teachers says UK-wide guidelines are needed to prevent students being manipulated by advertising. Companies say they're providing schools with much-needed financial help.
Right, so this is a typical bank branch, would you say?
This is a lesson in personal finance at a sixth form college. The teacher and all the materials are from the bank NatWest. Around 65% of schools in the UK have taken up the bank's offer to come into their classrooms to deliver their Money Sense programme. More businesses are offering to help schools like this that are often looking at ways to plug holes in their budgets.
We've got paying-in machines and we've got ATMs.
Teaching unions are concerned businesses might use these opportunities to manipulate students with marketing messages. Here, NatWest insists its programme is totally impartial, and the school says it's not about budgets, it's about providing a valuable extra resource. But not all schools are happy to be involved with business. This primary school was approached by a company offering education products.
They were asking us to send information out to our parents, that they would be able to offer extra support to our children and that there would be some benefits for the school. Certainly that was something I didn't pursue at all.
Teaching unions say UK-wide guidelines are needed to curb businesses' influence in classrooms.
We think schools need clear guidance on how sponsorship, how commercial companies can be involved in schools. We welcome the involvement of companies in schools, but there have to be clear limits on what they're allowed to do.
Schools are potentially a huge prize for advertisers. Marketeers estimate that adverts in UK schools would reach 10 million pupils, 1 million teachers and 13 million parents. Fizzy drinks and snack food advertising has been banned in schools, but over the years businesses have used other marketing methods, including sunscreen manufacturers giving pupils material on sun safety, detergent companies providing their product for science projects on stain removal, even schools being paid to send out advertising messages on headed school paper. The Scottish Government introduced guidelines to stem any creeping influence of business in classrooms.
What we wanted to do was to set out some clear guidelines for schools as to whether they should firstly accept commercial sponsorship, and if they did, what the parameters of that should be.
But businesses say industry guidelines already exist and teachers can decide what's right.
Most of the big successful programs that are in this area have been developed through relationships between education, between schools and businesses, where there is clear educational value for it. And there's also benefit for those organisations, but it's not about direct selling of products or services.
Just to make sure you can do it.
While Scotland has opted for guidelines, there's a disjointed approach elsewhere. The Westminster government says schools have complete freedom over the teaching materials they use, and teachers should use their common sense. In other words, no new guidelines. Keith Doyle, BBC News.
Well, Brian Roberts, who's an expert on how companies sell their brands, will be here in a few minutes' time.